Easy. Harity first. Ich hatte es schon im Kopf, bevor du es gesagt hast, habe ich gehört. Aber ja, das wäre richtig geil, weil das Prophecy-System in Dingens ist echt gut gemacht. In Last Epoch. Okay, Leute, es geht los. Ich bin ruhig. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Ich mache ein bisschen lauter nochmal für euch. Ich hoffe, es ist laut genug für euch. Es geht los in 3, 2, 1. Oh, ich wünschte, es wäre Chris Wilson.
Welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile Mirage, which is coming out 1 week from now on March 6th. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream.
Ja, hier auch. Der Stream ist sehr leise. Ich mache lauter. Ich hoffe, jetzt ist es besser. Okay, okay, es geht los. Ich hab's lauter gemacht. Okay. Irgendwelche Ketten. Oh, Players in Mirage have Soul Eater. More variety of items found in the Mirage area. Da war ein Cyrus. Oh mein Gott, oh mein Gott. Oh. Imbue Gems, was? Neue Uniques. Restore them, was? Oh mein Gott, es passiert wieder so viele Sachen. Exceptional Supports. Keepers geht Core. Der Atlas Fractured, okay. Junge, Alter, what the fuck? Oh, Junge, Alter, ich bin jetzt schon wieder am Sterben, Alter. Vor halb, ich explodiere gleich. Was ist gerade alles passiert, Leute?
In today's stream, we'll take you on a deep dive into Path of Exile.
Fractured Atlas drin. Shaped Regions. Oh mein Gott.
There are also significant in-game changes coming.
Endgame Overhaul. Endgame Overhaul, Alter. Was?
In-game Atlas system, and as always, new rewards to match. After that, we want
40 neue Exceptional Support Gems?
As well as an additional Ascendancy class option added to the Scion, which some of you may find familiar. Next, we'll cover our new supporter packs, and then lastly, have a live Q&A session, where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile game director Mark, as well as game designer Octavian, your questions from Twitch chat. After the live stream, we'll drop the full patch notes at 11 AM NZT or 2 PM PST. So let's get started. I'll hand things over to Mark to introduce the new league.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts.
Oh shit, ich liebe ihn.
On Path of Exile. In Path of Exile Mirage, you'll be taking on the Ufarood, a sect of desert-dwelling necromancers who have lingered in the shadows for centuries. They are outcasts of outcasts, with no home or promised land.
Oh Leute, ey, Alter, ich kann das alles nicht mehr.
Through darker means. The Ufarood have captured the souls of Jinn throughout Rayclast. They are killing them, sapping their energies for purposes unknown. You must fight your way past the Ufarood's necromantic creations to find the captive Jinn. Here, Varashta, an ancient Marakith sorceress, has been doing what she can to protect the Jinn, but she needs your help to free them. After successfully defeating them, you will then be asked by Varashta to enter the Astral Realm and break the tether trapping the Jinn there.
Okay, geil.
This gate to the Astral Realm is a mirage, an imperfect copy of the area around the captured Jinn.
Okay, geil, geil.
Now, when we say an imperfect copy, we mean that quite literally. Hold tight, because this leak mechanic has some serious implications for juicing areas. We'll get to that in a moment. Varashta can augment the magic of the Mirage further, as she allows you to enter, giving you the option to choose one of 3 wishes before you do so.
Oh, wie geil, Alter. Die Mechanik sieht so gut aus jetzt schon, Alter.
And have some pretty potent outcomes. there are wishes that grant extra rewards.
100% more maps.
Glyphs, which causes all portal
Alter,
and wisdom
yo.
scrolls in the Mirage to instead drop as other currencies.
Okay, okay, das ist ziemlich geil.
Or wishes that will spawn rewarding enemies.
Drop the
Such
equipment
is
to
the
gold.
wish for Avarice, which replaces a number of packs in the area with gilded enemies that convert their equipment drops to gold. And wishes that can grant you extreme power while inside the Mirage, such as the Wish for Souls or the Wish
Bronze
for God,
Jewel.
which allow you to consume the
Cash.
souls of your enemies or make you completely unkillable. While
Krass.
within the Mirage, of course. Each wish is also marked with the sigil of one of 3 powerful Jinn. The Sand Jinn, Fire Jinn, or Water Jinn. Depending
Coin
on
of
the sigil
knowledge.
chosen, monsters within the affected Mirage will have a small chance to drop one of 3 new coin currencies.
Gorbrinz,
A
Hallöchen,
coin of
Mann. Es geht schon
knowledge,
ultra ab,
Coin
Jung.
of power, or coin of skill. Each of these coins can be used on a max leveled skill gem, corrupting it and augmenting it with a random support that matches the color of the coin used.
What? Man kann einen 7-Link haben jetzt.
Only one skill that is imbued this way can be socketed into a given equipment item at a time, meaning you cannot have 2 imbued skill gems in your body armor, as an example.
Choose what you wish.
That's one of the rewards, but let's get back to the area-to-area mechanic.
What the fuck, Alter.
Once you've made your choice,
Ich bin
of
gespannt, wie
which,
selten diese Teile
enter the
sind.
Mirage and fight your way through the monsters and astral hazards to find the tether holding the Jinn. Shatter this chain to free the Jinn, step by step weakening whatever dark plans the upper
Oh,
room may
Forbidden
have
Rite, ey. Ich hätte schon Bock.
Wishes are not the only value a Mirage has to offer to an enterprising exile. As we mentioned earlier, Mirages are an imperfect copy of the area the Jinn occupies in Rayclast, and it will copy almost anything, as long as it's within the domain of the Jinn.
What the fuck, Alter.
Mirages created from an in-game map, for instance, will have all Scarab, Atlas, and map modifiers the area
Und
has.
die Legion sind da auch wieder drin, oder? Oh,
Mirages
okay.
created next to a strongbox will have a new strongbox ready for you to open.
What the fuck? Ja, es ist so. Ein Legion ist dann nochmal dann, oder eine Strongbox.
Defended again.
What? Okay, das ist crazy.
Legions fought once more. And
Das
so on.
ist crazy.
Effectively, you get a portion of your map to play a second time.
Wow.
And everything you did to enhance the content of that map applies in the Mirage too.
Wow.
These
Die Mechanik
recreated
sieht so nach
copies of
Spaß
League
aus.
Mechanics, however, have been warped into reality by the power of the Mirage. And this has some side effects. For one, a recreation may not be perfect. The factions of a Legion may differ from the one the Mirage copied. Or, the variety of strongboxes may change. More importantly, the mechanic may be empowered, with new threats and rewards that are customized to each mechanic and are only available when doing that mechanic in the Mirage.
What the fuck?
For example, ultimatums recreated in Mirages will have new threatening modifiers added to the usual pool. Restless Ground can raise slain enemies to fight again,
What?
or Quicksand will grasp at your ankles.
Einfach die League Mechanics in einer
As a
empowerten
reward
Version.
for
Willst
these
du
new
mich
threats,
verarschen?
Mirage ultimatums can provide the new Sinistral or Dextral catalysts. These catalyze jewelry with increased effect of either prefix or suffix modifiers.
What the fuck?
As you can imagine, there's a lot of potential here.
Die buffen Suffix oder
Another
Prefixe.
example
Wisst ihr, wie
is that
crazy das
Calgaren
ist?
or recreated in the Mirage has a chance to be replaced by a thaumaturgic hourglass. A powerful magical device that your Calgaren friends can mine in order to obtain vast quantities of thaumaturgic dust. Blight
23.000.
encounters recreated in
Okay.
Mirages have
War nicht
one of
so
their
sein,
lanes
okay.
replaced by upper-root enemies, infested with blight. This lane can reward a new base type, the Cord Belt. The implicit of this belt allows it to be anointed, causing it to grant a passive tree notable of your choosing.
What is happening, dude?
As a quick
What is
note,
happening?
Imprisoned Jinn will generally be near the content they can empower in the Mirages, so you don't need to worry too much about getting lucky with where your content generates in an area. As the campaign doesn't generally contain too much additional League content for the Mirages to empower, we've gone and added a whole bunch that will force spawn near the gym.
Nice.
So your campaign experience will double down on being more action-packed and rewarding.
Krass.
Now, of course, if you're traveling through
Alter Leute, ich bin jetzt schon voll hyped und das war nur ein kleiner Fitzel.
You can expect to find some new uniques. The Ufarood are not only torturers, but thieves, and have over the centuries stolen away priceless Maraketh artifacts. Using their powers of rot and disease, they have twisted these items to suit their own purposes. Flesh Render is one such artifact, an ancient and exquisite Maraketh blade that has been tarnished and befouled.
Oh shit.
Its
Sorry.
rusted and jagged
Sorry, ich hab
edge
Scheiße
is
gebaut.
perfect for poisoning and withering your enemies. However, Varashta has in her command the power to restore
Wir gucken uns
these
nachher die eine nochmal genauer an.
treasures to their former glory. Acquiring a coin of restoration by slaying monsters and mirages allows any unique obtained from the Ufarood to be transformed into its
Alter, was ist das denn?
glorious original form. Flesh Render, for example, transforms into Sky Sunder, the original Maraketh blade that radiates with the glowing heat of the desert sun. When you ignite monsters, Sky Sunder reflects that ignite back to you, which proliferates to nearby enemies in a massive area. If you meddle with the affairs of the Ufarood for too long though, you may draw the ire of the Mirage League's new in-game boss, Suresh of the Weeping Black.
Das ist ein pinniger Boss.
Suresh also has a set of powerful, exclusive items.
Resistance Shrine Buff bei Effekte bei No Flasks. Diamond Shrine bei No Flasks. Was? Okay. Naja, wahrscheinlich kann das rollen.
Now, to face all the new evils, you might want some righteous skills. Some holy skills. In 3.28, you'll have access to a slew of new options to bring divine devastation and return the faithless to their rightful graves. We're also introducing some supports to go with them, as well as some new transfigured gems. Let's go over a few examples. With Holy Hammers, you slam the ground to call down a Hammer of Justice from the sky. If this hits an enemy, an additional Holy Hammer will cascade forwards, which itself can further cascade.
Oh
and
wow,
so
okay.
forth.
Krass.
Expending a power charge when using the skill will call down an additional 2 hammers, which can also cause cascading slams.
What the fuck?
Your foes, the more instruments of holy judgment. Sweep is an old skill. In fact, it is so old that it's one of the very first skills ever implemented in Path of Exile, over 15 years ago.
Das ist crazy.
It's been long overdue for some attention. With 3.28, it has been reworked into Holy Sweep. This skill converts some of your physical damage to lightning, with shiny new effects to match. Some enemies struck by the initial sweep will have hammers of light batter them from above. These hammers cause area damage where they land, so clustered enemies are demolished by repeated impacts. When successfully hitting an enemy with Holy Strike, you'll summon forth a floating holy armament, a glowing mace that follows you closely. These weapons
Das sieht schon geil aus.
and will attack with Holy Strike themselves whenever you do. These holy armaments will copy the stats of your main hand weapon to deal their damage. Stand against your foes with Shield of Light, a retaliation skill which will allow you to unleash a cone of holy light upon enemies after blocking a hit with your shield. Additional cones
Sieht
of
auch
light
geil aus.
will
Holy
also
Hammer
pour
finde ich
forth
bisher am
on your nearby
geilsten.
allies when you hit with the skill, allowing you to recruit your holy army to create purging light. Divine Blast emits a beam of holy light from your shield, coalescing into a hovering ball of energy. A few moments later, this unstable orb bursts, exploding outward with divine power. Hallow supports melee attacks, causing them to inflict a new debuff, Hallowing Flame. Hallowing Flame builds up as charges on enemies, getting consumed when attacked. Consuming a stack of Hallowing Flame
What the
gives
fuck?
the attack that consumed it a significant amount of extra fire damage. But only those who did not inflict the Hallowing Flame are able to consume it. Perfect for those of you who enjoy a more supportive playstyle with your army of holy sentinels. Or friends, when they're online. We've also added sources of this debuff to a number of other places, such as unique items, cluster jewels,
Oh, wow, okay.
and the Guardian Ascendancy class.
Oh, shit. Es sieht schon geil aus. Vor allem der Hammer-Scale, was viele hatte und schon der Holy Hammer-Scale sah krass aus. Jo, Alter. Holy Toxic Rain?
For gems which previously had none.
Oh, okay.
One example is the Shockwave Totem of Authority, which casts its higher damage dealing Nova at your location instead of its own.
What?
You might also enjoy Orb of Storms of Squalls. These storms warp directly to targets when you use lightning skills, and arc lightning upon doing so.
What? What the
This gives you
fuck?
a mobile storm of destruction
What the
that
fuck?
follows you as you dive into battle.
Wie geil ist das denn?
We'll leave the rest of the transfigured skills for you to comb through in the patch notes.
Okay.
Speaking of the patch notes,
Oh.
as always, we love to shake up the meta. So we've done a bunch of balance adjustments to
Oh,
a few other
geil.
things as well, such as a pass on bloodline classes, expanded the passives available to the Templar section of the passive tree, and various improvements to existing holy themed skills such as Static Strike, Holy Flame Totem, and Dominating Blow. We're also doing our usual improvement to some of the least played Ascendancy classes.
Oh, nice.
This time with a focus on Guardian and Warden.
Oh, Warden. Okay. Ich finde Warden richtig geil.
Speaking of Ascendancies, let's talk about the
Oh ja, oh mein Gott,
new Reliquarian
Oh,
Ascendancy
ich muss mich so
class.
beruhigen, Alter. Ich
For those
platze
who have
gleich vor
played the
Hype. Ich sag euch,
Legacy
wie
of
es
Brescia
ist.
events, this class will seem familiar.
Oh, ich
The
hab das geliebt. Ich hab
Reliquarian is
jetzt...
a learned scion that has studied history at the Oriath Academy. She is a part of a secret society of Oriathans,
Das ist eine Victaris
dedicated to
Influence.
collecting and discerning the strange properties of unique items. All of her passive powers come from these unique items, found from throughout Rayclast.
Oh, wie
After
geil.
ascending, first select the power of a unique armor.
Oh, ist das
Carrier's
geil.
influence increases the level of all your auras and gives them a much larger area of effect. Or instead, take Kilowava's Bluster, giving you a chance to have extreme elemental resistance against incoming hits.
Nah.
Next, pick from a unique weapon power. Widowhail
Yo,
greatly increases
what?
the bonuses gained from your quiver. Or
What?
Master's Teaching, which causes your minions' critical strike chance with attacks to be equal to your main hand weapons. Lastly,
Digga, und du
take
kannst
your
Widowhail
crown
auch noch
jewel,
selbst
a
anziehen.
unique jewelry power. Astral Projector causes Nova spells to cast from enemies rather than from yourself. Or take Astramentus, simply giving you a
What?
huge boost to all your attributes.
60 du Attributes. Okay.
Due to all
Dort,
the ways
Alter.
you can mix and match unique powers,
Ich hab
the
so Bock auf
Reliquarian
diesen neuen
has more
Scion.
flexibility in how you build it compared to any other Ascendancy class in the game.
What?
Our plan going
The
forward is for
fuck?
the Reliquarian to not be a static Ascendancy class, and between each expansion, the
Was ist
unique
das für ein
powers
Skill?
which are offered will change. If you don't like what she offers this expansion,
Oh mein Gott,
hopefully
hört ihr
she'll
das
have the
gerade?
power of your favorite unique item in the next one.
Die changen jede League den Scion in andere Uniques.
With this expansion, we are aiming to liven up the endgame, giving players new
Junge,
experiences.
ich brauche eine Pause. Ich platze
abilities to
gleich. Ich platze
leverage,
gleich.
And streamlining or removing the more frustrating tasks. Extensive changes will be coming. to
Alter,
the
okay,
Atlas
jetzt wird's
and how you
krass,
engage
glaube
with
ich.
maps,
Endgame Changes, Leute.
without interfering with the beloved core experience that has made mapping so successful.
In the last few endgame updates, you experienced Zana's story. How she helped defeat the Elder, tried to stop exiles from going mad in the Atlas, and faced new threats pouring forth from it.
Junge, ich hab so Gänsehaut, Alter.
In
Shit.
the most recent expansion, she eventually realized that there was only one way forward, to destroy the Atlas.
Wird sie ein
Zana's
Pinnacle
recent
Boss?
actions have now weakened the already strained and tattered edges of its realities, reshaping how we interact with the Atlas entirely.
To explain how this changes your interactions with the Atlas, we first want to establish some context while having a bit of a trip down memory lane.
27 expansions ago, back in Path of Exile 3.1.0,
Oh nein.
the War for the Atlas, we had a mechanic on the Atlas where the Shaper and Elder were engaged in war. This manifested as influence regions on the Atlas that affected specific maps.
Oh nein, oh
The
nein.
ever-changing influence regions made the Atlas feel more like a physically connected space, rather than just a fancy way of visualizing a checklist of completed maps. However,
Ich check's, ja.
one of the main frustrations with this mechanic was that you constantly needed many different specific maps in order
Richtig.
to manipulate the influenced regions.
Richtig.
We realized we'd love to again have mechanics that manifest physically on your Atlas,
Kann ich
but we'd
verstehen.
have to address the issue of always needing those specific maps.
Alter, was
The
kommt
first
jetzt?
major change we'll be making to solve this is divorcing map items from specific areas. As an example, instead of having a Mesa map,
Oh mein
you will now
Gott.
find, say, a Tier 10 map. To open a Mesa map now, just locate and select Mesa on your Atlas, put in your map item, click activate, and you're good to go.
What? 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 Wisst ihr, wie crazy das ist?
That Mesa may drop a Tier 11 map. You can then immediately return to your map device, which will default to the last map run, and then run it again. Or choose a new map to use it on.
Wisst ihr,
It's
wie
your
crazy
choice.
das ist? Oh mein Gott.
This is one of the many benefits to this change, which is that if you're the type of player who enjoys chaining the same map over and over, or the type of player who prefers to jump around, it is equally easy to do either strategy or even switch between them at a moment's notice.
Leute, das ist so crazy. Fällt mir das
For
kann, ja.
example,
Es,
if
ja, ja,
one day you're
saves.
farming burial chambers, hoping to eventually get a headhunter from divination cards, and you decide you need a change of rhythm, you can seamlessly swap to your boss farming Atlas tree and spam Mesa for peak boss killing efficiency. Up until now, this would have required having some Mesa maps stashed, setting all your favored maps to Mesa, or doing a whole bunch of trading. You'll also notice that the structure of the Atlas has changed. If you haven't played in a while,
Sorry, Leute, ich kann gerade nicht so richtig Chat lesen. Adenia, moins, mein Junge. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Alter,
you will
what
now
the
begin
fuck
at the
is
center of
happening,
the
dude?
Atlas, with each corner housing one of 4 voidstone slots.
Oh,
In
was?
addition, all content accessed from your map device now exists physically on the Atlas, so you can see everything available in the endgame as you reveal the Fog of War. This also means that all unique maps are now present on the Atlas, including some old favorites that are appearing for the first time. Don't worry though, you don't need to complete Hall of Grandmasters every league. You now gain 1 Atlas skill point per unique map completed, up to a maximum of 10.
Oh, nice.
Given there
Oh,
are
das ist ein
around
guter
20
Change für
maps,
SSF, Alter.
You only need to complete the half you want. If you
Das
can get
ist
your
so
hands on them.
gut.
Note, you aren't losing any Atlas skill points. These have been moved to new places, and actually, you can get more than before.
Nightmare Maps.
Due to Zana's actions,
Da stand
Egan
Nightmare
now
Maps.
has a new goal and is determined to stop Zana's destruction by making use of a mysterious new discovery, arcane astrolabes. Zana is currently traversing the threads that weave the Atlas together, severing them. With these new astrolabes, Egan is able to trace her movement, but using them causes dangerous side effects. When you use an astrolabe on a map on the Atlas, a shaped region will manifest itself in that quadrant, affecting many of the maps within it. There are many different kinds of astrolabes, and they apply different
Was ist das in der
types of
Mitte da,
shaped
diese 3
regions.
Zeichen?
For example, an
Ah, das ist
abyssal
Maven und so,
region,
ne? Ita und
which
so.
causes all the maps to have an additional abyss, or a blighted region.
Leute, Alter, was passiert hier gerade? Was passiert hier gerade? Was passiert hier gerade, Leute?
Completing
What
the
the
content
fuck?
added by the astrolabe will remove the shaped region's influence from that map. Upon doing so, every other map remaining in the shaped region will gain an additional modifier. This means as you progress through the shaped region, maps you run will become more and more intense.
Was?
with the
Leute,
relevant
wisst ihr, wie
mechanics
geil das
more
ist?
and more
Oh.
adjust.
Ich liebe alles bisher, wirklich alles bisher daran.
Finally, at the end of the region of maps, once you have successfully rid the Atlas of the shaped region, Egan will take you to one of 4 memory vaults. where there are powerful rewards to be had. He cares only for the knowledge hidden within that vault, so any items are yours for the taking. Each vault is associated with a specific quadrant on the Atlas, so you're able to target a certain vault if you're wanting to try get a specific type of reward. One such vault is the Archon's Vault.
Ne Void Battery.
Rewarded with powerful unique items.
Für Unikum bin ich ganz geil.
Vault to acquire valuable currency items. This new shaped region system is one that promotes running many different maps. But for players that want to engage with this new system while still wanting to run the same map over and over again,
Krass.
the synthesized stability keystone on the
Ich wollte nämlich gerade sagen, es gibt einen
enables
Knackpunkt. Man
that.
muss nämlich verschiedene Maps laufen, aber das hier löst es.
With all the new endgame changes, we thought it would be also good to mention some handy tips and tricks for quickly navigating the new Atlas. When using the map device, the Atlas defaults to your previously run map. So running the same map over and over is as few clicks as possible.
Das ist crazy.
You can right-click unique maps or map fragments in your inventory to automatically open your Atlas to that location with
Nice.
the map already placed and ready to run. When you select a special area that requires
The
multiple
Apex of
items, such as
Sacrifice.
to fight at Zeri or open the
Oh,
domain
yeah.
of timeless conflict, if you have the fragments to access that in your inventory, it will automatically add them to the map device
Krass.
in the right
Krass.
spot.
What the fuck?
That's the core of the new endgame. But there's a lot more endgame changes coming in 3.28. Let's blast through them. Over the last few expansions, we've been working on streamlining the mapping experience. And we wanted to continue to minimize busy work so you can spend more time doing what you love, killing monsters and getting loot. To that end, we've made a number of changes. We won't get into too much detail, but here's a quick summary of what you can expect to have received adjustments.
So, was kommt jetzt?
We've removed cartographer's chisels and map device crafts entirely. The loss of content
What?
and loot here has been compensated for in other places.
Map item.
Void stones now grant special global bonuses while socketed on your Atlas, including adding the new Originator Void Stone, which enables specific Atlas bosses to drop exceptional supports. We'll elaborate more on that in the next section. T17 maps as you know it have effectively been removed.
Oh, nice, ja.
The bosses have been kept around, and they better fulfill their original purpose of being a gateway to target farm uber pinnacle bosses. The most annoying modifiers on Originator maps have been removed or replaced. No more getting turned into a slug for simply using skills. And no
Nice.
more will you be incapable of dealing damage periodically.
Dankeschön.
Petal skills in Originator maps have been removed. However, some of their effects are now available from the altars and memory threads.
Dankeschön. So viel angenehmer, so viel
Memory
angenehmer.
tiers, instead of adding a memory thread to your Atlas, will now drop an itemized version of that thread, allowing you to save it for later or trade it at your leisure. We've added new scarabs, such as this Expedition Scarab of Infusion, which can generate some truly tempting logbooks. And for those of you looking to take on the ultimate
Exceptional
one-on-one
Rogue
fight,
Exile.
the Anarchy Scarab of the Exceptional will place a true antagonist level Rogue Exile threat in your map. Empowered by every type of Wildwood Wisp, possessed by a tormented spirit, augmented with rare
Oh
monster
nee, Alter, was
modifiers,
ein Shit.
and affected by a shrine, this Exile is not to be trifled with.
Das klingt nach richtig scheiße.
Alongside that, we've also
War auch
changed
irgendwie
some,
geil, aber
such as the Beyond Scarab of Resurgence, which now causes all 3 Beyond bosses to appear when a Beyond boss would spawn in your map.
krass.
On top of that, we've made improvements to a number of weak Atlas Tree passives, such as Pillage and Plunder, which now grants a chance for items dropped by Syndicate members to have a Fractured Veiled mod.
What? Okay,
Check out the
okay.
new The Paths Not Taken Keystone, which means your maps on average will drop twice as many divination cards. But which ones can drop will be a mystery. And last, but not least, we've also made some changes to
Oh mein
Smart
Gott.
shipping.
Wie kommen wir das
Such
weg?
as,
Wie kommen wir das
we've
weg?
swapped the rewards given by sending ore and crops I wonder what this new port will send back. Ports will now give more rewards for favored resources. And you can even re-roll them for gold.
Okay.
If they're not offering what you're after.
Nice.
Specific ports will now reward specific tattoos and
Oh.
drafts, making it easier to target
Nice.
the ones you want.
Dankeschön. Das ist ultra gut
Not
für
to
SSF.
mention, the Kalgurans have discovered several new, powerful rune grafts for you to get your hands on. Such as the Rune Graft of Fury, which causes you to gain rage on using a life flask. And the Rune Graft of Resurgence, which causes Arcane Surge to also grant life regeneration.
Junge,
We
ey.
mentioned earlier about the
Was kommt
originator
jetzt?
Voidstone
Ich kann nicht mehr, Leute.
enabling
Ich bin jetzt schon
access to
durch.
So let's get into that, as there's a decent amount to cover. After defeating the incarnations of Fear, Neglect, and Dread, you will obtain the Originator Voidstone. As mentioned earlier, this Voidstone allows new, exceptional support gems to drop from many bosses across the Atlas. These new supports are an improvement over the old Awakened support system, which is being phased out. Awakened supports have long been a capstone investment for a character, but there's existed a gulf between the more interesting ones, such as Awakened Spell Cascade, which has some additional transformative effect, as opposed to some of the simpler Awakened supports, which just have slightly higher numerical values. Exceptional supports will all be transformative, serving as an additional late game tool to customize your build around, and extending character customization and creation even later into a
Creator
build's life.
Multi-Strike, dude.
One of the goals here is to provide interesting build choices even at later levels and deep into the
Cooldown
game.
Recovery Support.
However,
What?
we are certainly not aiming to reduce top-end player power with these changes. Exceptional supports will still be super strong. If used well, they will catapult your character even further than before. So, how many are there, and what exactly do they do? There are over 40 new exceptional
What
supports
the
to discover,
fuck, ey, wirklich.
adding additional enticing drops to bosses that may otherwise have felt not as worthwhile to run, giving players extra reason to take on those challenges. For instance, from the King in the Mists, we have the Hex Toad support. This support creates areas of swampy cursed ground, which spawns toads that bounce towards enemies and then explode, dealing chaos damage.
What the fuck?
From the Uber Elder, we have the
Alter.
Void Storm support, which causes your raining attacks to create celestial storms of energy that grow over time.
Oh mein Gott,
Detonating into a
Toxic Rain.
bunch For massive damage.
Toxic Rain Login, Leute, habt ihr das gesehen?
Defeating the
Schocks, bist du da?
incarnation of Neglect may win you the Frost Mage support. Similar to the existing Archmage support, you are rewarded for stacking mana to enhance your spells with extraordinary cold damage. We'll tease some more of these before launch, but there will be many, many more for you to discover.
Toxic Rain.
Keepers of the Flame
Login,
is
dude, aber
coming
sowas von.
back. However,
Digga, was
we do
passiert
know
hier
that many
gerade? Ich kann
players
das alles
have
nicht mehr. Ich hab
issues with the
Gänsehaut,
walls
Leute.
and hive encounters.
Das ist die krasseste
In
League
order to
ever.
address these concerns, we'll be making a number of changes.
Okay, jetzt bin ich gespannt.
One of the biggest problems is that walls would block your projectiles.
Oh mein Gott.
Meaning that when a hive randomly spawned in your map, it would make it harder to clear. In order to prevent that, walls and hive encounters will now be destroyed by any damage.
Oh wow. Okay.
But we also wanted to make sure we reduce the visual clutter they cause. Hives and their walls are now smaller. To allow players to engage with hive encounters quicker when they do want to help ALLES, we've added a new Atlas passive which drastically increases the detonation area of unstable burrows, causing them to reliably chain react and destroy the majority of remaining walls. For those who don't want to deal with the walls at all,
Gib mir Toxic
there's now
Rain,
a
gib's mir
pair of
auch,
these
Geronimo,
drones
ich
that allow you
fühl's.
to block hive encounters or unstable breaches, if you want.
Ah, always hives.
Now that
What?
this is a core league, we don't want you to have to grow your Genesis tree from scratch on every league start. So now, each womb gift slot is already usable by default, and access to the Monastery of the Keepers will be gained by finding ALLES starting in Act 6 Mudflats.
Mit Nerfs aber wahrscheinlich,
Now
oder?
with Atlas Tree and Scarab support, you can have multiple unstable breach encounters active in a single area for maximum ruckus.
Junge, what the fuck?
Speaking of Atlas Tree and Scarab support, we've added plenty. Here are a few examples.
What the fuck?
The Massing Forces Atlas notable grants a chance to have additional unstable breaches in your maps.
10% chance.
The Breach Scarab of the Marshal guarantees a breach boss or hive fortress, while the Breach Scarab of the Incensed Swarm replaces all of Aelith's skills with Enrage the Hive, increasing the difficulty and reward from hive monsters in all subsequent waves. Graft items will no longer exist, but we've moved several of the graft skills to new exceptional supports. Such as the Hiveborn support, which summons an army of breach minions to do your bidding when you use a supported offering skill. And the Foul Grasp support, which calls forth a field of grasping breach hands when you recall brands, exploding for heavy lightning damage when enemies approach them. We're looking forward to seeing how these improvements and additions are received, alongside a lot of what Keepers also has to offer. From the new bosses and their bloodline, through to the Genesis tree and its many different crafting options, like Foulborn uniques. Also with its new narrative, we look forward to extrapolating on all of this and learning more about Aelith, the Hiveborn, and its Breach Lords in the future. That covers all the new content we're adding, and that
Die Season geht nächste Woche Freitag um 20 Uhr los.
In-game system, several new reward types,
Leute, ey, was ist gerade passiert?
Maps, all of which you can double up in the new Mirage League, and all that alongside a suite of new holy skills, a new ascendancy class, and an insane amount of new character customization in the in-game. However, an important part of Path of Exile expansions is making sure there is a continued effort to improve quality of life.
Oh mein Gott, was kommt jetzt?
You can now
Ja, okay, das kennen wir schon.
currency exchange.
Junge, ist das crazy.
Selecting two currencies that you want to be able to
Daniel, mein Lieber, ich hab's gelesen, falls du noch da bist. Du darfst gerne schreiben, was los ist, mein Jung. Ist natürlich vollkommen okay, wenn du eine Woche nicht da wärst, rein theoretisch, ne? Aber ich hoffe, es ist nichts passiert, Alter. Das interessiert uns nicht, wir spielen SSF. Alter, Junge, ey.
When trading in a full set of divination cards, it will automatically be handed in to become the resultant item. If you then turn in another set immediately, the reward from the previous set will be transferred to your inventory directly.
Das ist ultra geil.
Assuming there's enough free space to do so. Labyrinth font crafts that previously gave a random transfigured gem now allow you to choose which transfigured gem of that type you'd like to receive. The asynchronous trade item sale history is now hoverable, with full
Wir sind an den Wochenende immer unterwegs, scheiße. Aber es rennt natürlich nicht weg. Vielleicht ein bisschen Anarchie. Das ist auch geil. So.
The ritual icon will now glow if you've got significant unspent tribute.
Alter, was wird denn in Empowered Ritual sein in so einem Mirage, Leute? Oh mein Gott.
Final ritual completion. Also on the topic of ritual, you can now quick use vessels on completed rituals. Have you ever tried to click a divine shrine surrounded by enemies and find it extremely difficult to click? Well, shrines now take priority over monsters when clicking in an area they overlap.
Bin gespannt, ob noch was Neues kommt.
Since 3.24, we've been looking to add new ways to improve the campaign experience, and 3.28 is no different.
Ich bin so gespannt auf die Patch Notes auch, ey.
20 landmark rooms throughout the campaign, scattered across
Wir gucken uns die
all
Patch
10
Notes an.
acts.
Später.
Some of these reward some pretty useful stuff, so keep an eye out for the new and unexpected rooms, side passages, chests, and encounters as you progress throughout Rayclast. We want most of these to be a surprise, but we'll show you just one. There is now a small central island.
By the way, es fühlt sich nach einer ultra krassen SSF-League an, ne? Ohne Scheiß. Aber dazu komme ich später nochmal. Einige Changes sind so gut für SSF.
Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today, we're launching two new series of supporter packs.
Bitte sind die nicht ultra krass.
The Curator of Wisdom and Iron Incarcerator packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always,
das sah aus wie der Hammer von Smo. Von Dark Souls 1.
Do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Curator of Wisdom series of supporter packs contains 7
das Portal sieht geil aus.
The Traveling Wisdom Back Attachment
Oh, die
has
Musik,
all
ich
the
liebe dieses
necessary
Lied.
tools you may require to chronicle your journey,
Junge.
complete with a helpful rat friend. These chronicles will activate their magic upon identifying items, and will track the number of items identified of each rarity. Just hover the item
What
or
the
link it in
fuck?
chat to show it off.
Das
The
ist ziemlich geil.
acquired
Das ist
wisdom
ziemlich
unique
geil.
finisher effect summons an ancient scroll that consumes unique enemies. and the
Clusterfuck,
knowledge
sein
they hold.
Urgroßvater.
Most exiles would struggle carrying piles of scrolls while traveling Reaktion, but the Grand Curator of Wisdom armor set is perfect for the adventurous scholar. Any expert curator knows that scrolls hold more than just knowledge, they also hold power. As you cast spells, the scrolls attached to the armor will burn away, before rematerializing shortly after. It also features a series of helmet variations, so you can get precisely the look you're after. Summon your Scroll Shaper familiar pet to follow alongside you. This creature is formed from folded magical texts, and can shapeshift between different forms. You can think
Lol,
of
ist
this
das
as having
geil.
multiple
Jo, ein
pets in
kleiner
one.
Fuchs.
It can fold into
Okay.
a fox,
Oh
and then
mein
even burn
Gott.
away,
Als ob sie's
reforming into a
wüssten.
flying bird.
Als ob sie's wüssten, dass wir gerade den Stream gucken oder was. Ein
This series
Fox
of
und ein
packs also
Bird.
contains the scroll portals.
What the fuck?
Jumbo-sized versions of the
sag
Scroll
dazu
of
nix.
Wisdom and Portal Scroll that you can make a quick retreat through. A supreme catalogue of knowledge can't remain in one place for too long and risk being pillaged by thieves. The Titan Apex Hideout features a colossal titan who carries your base of operations atop their shoulders,
What the
constantly
fuck?
moving through a boundless desert.
Supporterback gekauft, ist so gut. Das ist wirklich ultra gut bisher, ja.
The Iron Incarcerator
What
pack
the
also
fuck?
contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
Das ist ein Portal, ne? Das ist ein Portal-Effekt,
The
Leute.
Incarcerator's
Oder ein
restrained back
Atlas-Ding.
attachment features stockades that were used to immobilize prisoners by binding them to the earth as they were tortured for their wrongdoings. Shackles envelop your choice of torturing device when using the Chains of the Incarcerator weapon effect. These chains shatter into links as you batter enemies. Make your way through Reaktion as a walking penitentiary, intimidating
Wow.
your enemies with the elite Iron Incarcerator armor set.
Das sieht schon geil
After
aus.
a long day of tracking down criminals, step into the Iron Maiden portal to retreat to your torture chamber. It acts as a great deterrent for would-be intruders. This peculiar creature was a favorite amongst incarcerators. They would be sent into the midst of prison riots to mesmerize and control the toughest of minds. Use their talents to charm other players' pets,
What?
causing them to abandon their owners and follow in line behind you instead,
What?
at least until it wears off. What better way to execute prisoners when your torturing has depleted their value?
Das
Harvest their
ist
souls
so...
to fuel this map device.
Das ist so
condemning
ein
them to
krasses
eternal
Map-Device-Ding.
incarceration.
Was ist das denn?
Your kills within the map are also recorded based on the rarity of the
Einfach
monster.
Ruto. True.
You
Und
can
Molson
choose to
Manasch,
pin
ey. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut,
execution
Alter.
session that you're satisfied with on this miniature leaderboard,
Dankeschön.
which is displayed for all that dare enter your hideout. Additionally,
Wow,
all
die Supporter Packs sind
microtransactions from these
insane.
supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 2. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
Ich habe eigentlich kein Money dafür, aber...
We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy.
Alter, ey.
Afterwards, we'll post the full patch notes for Path of Exile Mirage at 11 a.m. New Zealand
Alter, ich
time,
bin komplett
2
durch.
p.m. Pacific. With release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you'll need for the release. Keep an eye on the news.
Ist das crazy. Ist das crazy. What the fuck? Was ist gerade alles passiert, Leute? Ich kann das alles nicht mehr. Die Endgame-Challenges sehen so nice aus. Oh, Junge, alles, ey. Ich krieg gar nicht mehr so die... Ohne Scheiß, die Mirage League Mechanik, ne? Sieht so geil aus. Die macht... Ich glaube, die wird so Spaß machen. Du gehst in diese Area rein, du wählst deinen Wish aus, keine Ahnung. Es sieht so smooth aus, so, dass du das während dem Mappen halt machst, ne? Bin echt am Überlegen, mit Oxygen zu spielen mit dem neuen Support. Ich kann es absolut verstehen. Ich bin auch am Überlegen, Mann. Ich sag dir, wie es ist. Wollen wir das ein bisschen hören? Oh, mit Octavian, Alter. Jo. Der Chat geht bestimmt ultra ab jetzt. Ja, der Sound ist ein bisschen weird.
I walked in here with you forever, Ziggy.
Ich mach's mal ein bisschen leise. Green is Magical, moinsen, einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Ey, Mann, hast nochmal guten Abend. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut, Alter. Ich komme überhaupt nicht klar. Ich nicht, für mich gibt es da nichts über den Talk to Rain, No-Brainer. Ich check's komplett, Geronimo, ich sag dir, wie es ist. Mini-Bild als Starter. Es gab keine Golem-Changes, also eigentlich nicht, ne. Nicole, Hallöchen, okay, interessant. Es ist ultra interessant, oder? Neue Skills, die... Leute, oh, okay. Oh, Octavian ist so ein geiler Dude, ey. Wollen wir das, sollen wir das gucken oder nicht? Wollt ihr das gucken? Ansonsten hätte ich gesagt, wir gehen nochmal die Sachen durch.